So let's see today's quick and easy chicken sorpatel. So I'm going to show you how to make the Goan sorpatel masala recipe. It's super simple. Now these are the few ingredients that we're going to be using. So let's go through the spices. So this is about 10 peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of cumin or jeera, an inch of cinnamon or dalchini, 6 cloves or lavang, 15 dried Kashmiri chilies, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, about 1 inch of ginger, 10 cloves of garlic, 1/4 cup of vinegar, a lime-sized ball of tamarind soaked in 1/4 cup of warm water, and we're going to extract the pulp for the recipe. Now besides that, we're going to use 2 light green chilies which I've slit and cut into half, 1 medium-sized onion chopped fine. Now we're going to grind all the ingredients except the green chilies, the onion and the tamarind pulp. Rest all of the ingredients are going to be ground in the white vinegar, or if you have Goa vinegar, you can use Goa vinegar. And I'm not going to add the turmeric powder into my mixer pot. I'll be adding it later, but if you want, you can add the turmeric into your mixer jar too at this point. Now we're going to grind this with only vinegar, and we're going to make this into a very fine paste. So this is the vinegar that I'm adding, and we're going to grind this to a very fine paste like this. So our Goan sorpatel masala paste is ready, and today I'm going to be making chicken sorpatel, which is really very easy and quick. And whenever you're craving for sorpatel and you don't want to go through the tedious process of cutting up the pork and boiling it, this is a super fast recipe and it tastes super delicious. So let's start with the recipe. Now here I'm heating about 1.5 tablespoons of oil in a pan. And what I've done is I've just taken about 250 grams of boneless chicken breast, fried it in a pan in oil, and then just chopped it up into small pieces. And whatever stock you get when you're frying that, use that for the recipe too. Now once my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to be adding the onion. And we're going to fry the onion really well till it becomes nice and translucent. Now once the onions are translucent, I'm going to add my masala paste. And we're going to fry this paste really well for almost 3 minutes. We want the paste to be really nicely fried. So now here I'm adding the turmeric powder or the haldi powder. You could add it also when you're grinding the paste. So now once everything is nicely mixed, you can see that the paste itself starts, oozing out some kind of oil. At this point, you're going to add the fried chicken cubes. Now chicken cooks really fast, so we're going to mix everything really well together. See that the chicken is nicely coated with all of the masala. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of hot water. I've just microwaved 1 cup of water. Just add that and mix everything really well together. Now we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes till everything gets nicely cooked. And now I'm going to season it with some salt to taste. And I'm also going to be adding a pinch of sugar. This is completely optional, but the sugar does elevate the taste of, the entire dish. Now mix everything really well together. And we're going to cover and cook this for 5 minutes on a low heat. After 5 minutes, you'll see that the curry here or the sorpatel has thickened a bit. We're going to add our green chilies. Mix it in well. And now we just have one more ingredient to add, and that is the tamarind pulp. So what I suggest is go a little easy on the tamarind pulp because we've also added vinegar. So add a little, just give it a taste test, and if you feel that you want to add more, then you can add a little more. Mix everything really well together. And again, I'm going to cover and cook this on a very low flame for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, turn off the heat and your sorpatel, your chicken sorpatel is all ready to enjoy. Do give this recipe a try and let me know in the comments section how you like it. I'll catch you in my next video. Akshita signing off. Bye guys. So friends, let's start with today's croquettes recipe. Now here I have about 18 peppercorns, 1 inch of cinnamon and 5 cloves. These are our whole spices. I'm going to lightly roast them on in my pan just for about 1 minute till you get the lovely aroma of these lovely whole spices. Then I'm going to grind them in my mortar and pestle. You could also grind them in your mixer pot to a very fine powder. Once that is done, just set it aside. Now we're going to use 2 medium-sized onions chopped fine, 1 tomato and 1 uh, a- 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste and also 2 dried green chilies. I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan and I'm going to add the onions and fry them till they're nice and translucent. Once the onions are nice and fried, we're going to add our ginger garlic paste. So I've just taken about 1 inch of ginger and about 5 large cloves of garlic and ground them to a very fine paste. You can also use the ready-made ginger garlic paste. Next I'm going to add the light green chilies, which I've chopped fine. And then I'm going to add my 1 tomato, which I've chopped fine. So we're going to fry all of this really well. And now I'm going to cover this for about 1 minute and keep it on a low flame so that everything gets well incorporated. Now I'm going to be using 250 grams of mince as well as some salt to taste. So after about a minute, when everything is really nice and fried, we're going to add this finely ground powder that we prepared with the cinnamon, the cloves and the pepper. Mix it in well. And now we're going to add our mince. Now we're going to mix everything well with the mince and we're going to fry the mince for at least 1 whole minute. Now you can add some salt to taste. Fry everything well. Now I've taken 1 large potato, washed it, peeled it and just diced it into large cubes. Now after we've fried our mince well, we're going to add this potato. We're going to mix everything well and now I'm going to cover and cook this till the potato is well cooked. So this takes about 2 minutes and then you can just check whether your potato should be nice and soft and done. So that means your mixture is now ready. You can turn off the heat and let the mixture cool completely. Now we're going to transfer this to a mixer pot or a blender and we're going to grind this to a very fine paste. Now I'm also going to be using some lemon juice. So I've taken the juice of 1 lemon and mix everything well and again grind it to a very fine paste. Now we're going to transfer this paste to a large bowl. I'm also going to be using 1 egg. So I'm going to beat this egg well and I'm going to add that to my mince. Now mix the egg also well with the mince mixture. Once that is done, I have taken 1 pav, a very fresh and soft pav, and torn it up into small pieces. You can also use bread slices. Just add that to the mixture. This will give it a nice body and you'll be able to form the croquettes very easily. So the pav should be nice and soft and fresh because then it just gets mashed down very easily. Alternatively, you can also add it to the mixture when you're grinding it in the mixer. Now I'm just going to add about 4 or 5 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. Basically, we want a nice firm mixture which we can form our croquettes with. And now just form the croquettes like this. Roll them and keep them aside. And then we're going to shape them so that they all look, even and well shaped. So first just roughly roll them in the breadcrumbs. And I learned this technique from my dad. But just take a nice long knife like this and just, shape them, like keep rolling them in this fashion and shape them very well. They should all look nice and even with no cracks and no, breaks in the croquettes. You can make them small, you can make them long or big, the choice is yours. And then again lightly roll them in the breadcrumbs and keep them aside. So in this way you can make your croquettes and you can even store them in an airtight container. They last for about a week in an airtight container, refrigerated, and whenever you feel like you can just deep fry them. You can just deep fry them whenever you feel like. So now I'm just going to deep fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color. So you can alternatively, shallow fry them, but deep frying them, you get an even coat and everything gets evenly fried. If you shallow fry them, then you'll find that, the texture is different. You won't get that lovely crunch that these croquettes are supposed to have. That is, they're supposed to be nice and crunchy on the outside and nice and soft on the inside. So when you shallow fry them, you get a very kind of a different type of a texture. You don't get that crunch. But you can shallow fry them if you don't want to deep fry them. So in this way you can fry your croquettes as many as you like, and they're just very, very delicious. They go very well with some pulao and some salad and some chicken curry at the side. It's like an ideal meal. And I've just broken up one to show it to you all, and you can see how lovely and crunchy they are on the outside and nice and soft on the inside. So I hope you liked today's recipe and I hope you give it a try. You can leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll catch you in my next recipe. Bye. So here I've taken 1 cup of raw rice and washed it really well under water. And then I'm going to soak this rice overnight for at least 12 hours. This is very important that you soak the rice. Now after 12 hours, we are going to drain all the water from the rice, and then I'm going to put this into my mixer or blender pot. Now to that I'm going to be adding 1 cup of freshly grated coconut, 2 teaspoons of sugar and salt to taste. I'm also going to add about first I'm going to mix everything really well, and I'm going to add 1/4 cup of water and grind this to a very thick paste. It should not be very runny, but a real thick paste, just like an idli paste. This is the consistency we're looking for. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to take 1/4 cup of lukewarm water, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of sugar to it and mix the sugar in really well into this lukewarm water. The water should not be hot, but lukewarm. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of dry active yeast, and I'm going to just leave it without stirring it for about 15 minutes till it doubles in size. Now once the yeast doubles in size, it looks like this. We're just going to add it to our rice paste. We're going to mix it in really well, and then we are going to set this mixture aside for another 8 to 10 hours to ferment. So that's very important that it ferments. Now, once that is done, we're going to prepare our steamer, and we're also going to brush these molds that we have. They're just regular vatis. You get actual sanna molds, but I'm just using regular vatis that I have at home. And I'm going to fill these vatis halfway only. Prepare the steamer with enough water in it and let the water start to boil. And then I'm going to place these in the steamer and I'm going to steam them on a very high flame for at least 15 minutes. Now after 15 minutes, let the steamer cool to room temperature and then take a knife and just run it through the sanna, and it has to come out clean. And then just taking a sharp knife, run it around the sanna like this, and then just demold it, and you'll get these beautiful soft sannas which you can enjoy with chicken chakuti, with sorpatel, or you can just eat them all by themselves. So do give this a try, guys.
Welcome back to Akshata's recipes. Thank you so much for being here today. So today's recipe is this beautiful Goan prawn puffs, which are a lovely starter or a snack. It can also be used as a tiffin item, or whenever any guests just arrive, you can serve it to them, or even as a side dish on any lunch buffet or dinner buffet. So it's super simple to make, very few ingredients, and really delicious. So without much further ado, let's just jump straight ahead into today's lovely recipe.
So let's start today's lovely recipe. So first I'm going to work on making the dough. So for that we're going to need 1 cup of flour or maida, half a cup of corn flour, 1/4 cup of clarified butter or ghee, some salt to taste, and water as needed to make a nice soft and firm dough. So now I'm going to add both the flours, that is the plain flour as well as the corn flour, to a bowl. Next, I'm going to add some salt to taste. I'm also going to add the ghee. And now with my fingers, I'm just going to rub the ghee into the flour really well so that we get, we coat each and every part of the flour with this ghee. So take your time with this and just crumble it as you go. And you should be able to hold it like this. It should all come together like this. You should be able to hold it like this. And now we're going to add a little water at a time and make a nice firm dough. Now I used about I think 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. And once our dough is formed, we're just going to add a few drops of ghee. And again, we're going to knead this dough really well. So take your time with this, about 4 to 5 minutes. Knead the dough because we want the dough to be really nice and elastic and easy to work with. Also, the prawn puffs will come out really crispy and crunchy if you really knead the dough well. And now you should just, if you press your fingers into it, you get this kind of a dent or a mark. And now we're just going to roll the dough up and keep it aside for at least 15 to 20 minutes minimum. So while the dough is resting, let's work on making the filling. Now for the filling, we need the following ingredients. Here I have 1 cup of fresh prawns which I've deveined, washed. This is 1 medium onion, chopped fine. 1/4 cup of fresh coriander leaves, chopped fine. 1 green chili, chopped fine. This is about 6 to 7 cloves of garlic, chopped fine. 1 inch of ginger, chopped fine. And 2 teaspoons of vinegar, or you can substitute it with lemon juice. This is 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, half a teaspoon of pepper powder or miri powder, and 4 to 5 fresh curry leaves that I've just chopped up fine. We also will be requiring a little salt to taste. And so now we can start making our filling. So now in a pan, I've heated about 2 teaspoons of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to first add the ginger, the garlic, the green chili, and I'm going to saute these 3 ingredients really well until the rawness of the ginger and the garlic goes away and the garlic turns a little bit brown. We're going to saute it. Then I'm going to add the onion. We're going to fry the onion also very well. So if you chop everything really nicely and finely, the filling really, comes with a perfect consistency. We don't want big pieces of ginger, garlic, and onion, because then when we are putting it into the dough, it does tend to, cause a problem. So better to cut it very fine. So now I'm going to add the turmeric powder, the pepper, and the curry leaves, and again saute everything really nicely for about 2 to 3 minutes till everything comes together really nicely. Now I'm going to add the prawns. Now if you want, you can even chop the prawns up into smaller bits. And now we're going to mix everything well. We want to fry the prawns and cook the prawns at this stage. So we'll fry the prawns really well. Now I'm using medium-sized prawns, so I've cut them up into halves. You can also use the smaller prawns. And now when the prawns are cooked, they will actually curl up a bit and turn to a denser or a thicker white color. From a transparent color, they turn to a thicker whitish color. So we're going to saute all of this for 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm just going to flavor it with some salt. Now I use Himalayan pink salt. It's good for health, and it is really nice to use. So I'm going to now add the chopped up coriander. Mix everything really well together. Turn off the heat after you add the coriander. After you mix everything well. And you can see that the filling has now reduced in size because everything has come together really well. And now once the flame is turned off, I'm going to add the vinegar or the lemon juice. Whatever you like to add, you can add either vinegar or the lemon juice. So our filling is ready. I'm just going to transfer it to a bowl and let it cool completely. And now is the fun part. Once our mixture is nice and cool, all we have to do is make these beautiful prawn puffs. So now I'm going to make small balls out of the dough. Just roll them between the palm of your hands. This dough is so easy to work with. It's very elastic and really nice to work with. So now I've made balls. Again, I'm going to make them into halves, as you will see. Then I'm going to apply a little bit of oil onto my rolling surface. I'm not going to add any flour, because then when you're frying it, the flour gets into the oil and becomes a big mess. So just apply a little bit of oil and then just roll it out into a small little circle, just like what you would do with moris or karanjis. And then I'm just going to place a little bit of the fillings here, a teaspoon roughly. Don't overfill it and don't underfill it either. And then I'm just going to fold it over like this. Seal the edges by pressing it down. Then I'm just going to pick it up, press the edges, and then just seal them by making this particular pattern. Now I'm doing it this way because I find that the puffs get really well sealed and there's no chance of the filling coming out. But otherwise you can also cut them like you would with a nori or a karanchi using a cutter. But I found that this was much better. So in this way I made all the puffs. Now if you want to make more, you can always double or triple the quantity of all the ingredients, depending on how many you want to make. And you can shape them in whatever way you want. And just for fun, the last one I like to make it into this little ball or potli or pouch or whatever. I couldn't think of a name. If you can think of something, let me know in the comment section below. I couldn't think of a name, but it is so cute and I didn't want to waste any of the dough, so I just made this small thing. And then now all we have to do is just deep fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color. Now alternatively you could bake these also. So for that you'll have to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes and then put a baking paper onto the tray. Then just brush this with a little oil or butter or ghee and then bake them on both sides for about 5 to 7 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius. That's it. But somehow these fried ones are more crispier, more crunchier. And just fry them and then drain them off on some kitchen napkin to drain off the excess oil. And that's it, guys. These amazing prawn puffs are all ready. Now you can also make these and freeze them. I mean, before frying them, you can freeze them for about a week or so till you want to use them, or put them in a vacuum bag and then fry them whenever needed. And our lovely Goan prawn puffs are all ready. I can't wait to dig into them. Just dip them into some ketchup or any sauce of your choice. And this is how it is inside. The filling is nice and crispy, almost like a puff pastry. So make this, guys, and let me know.
Did you like today's recipe? If you did, then don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I need those thumbs up by clicking on the thumbs up icon, giving those nice likes if you really like the recipe. Also, I've noticed that many of you are watching my videos without subscribing. So subscribe, it's completely free. And once you subscribe, also click on the notification bell and click on all. That way, whenever I put up a new video, a new recipe, you'll get a message for the same, so you won't miss out anything happening on my channel. Go and check out my channel. I have more than 1,000 recipes, all created into different playlists. On my homepage, you can go to playlists and they're all segregated into different types of recipes. So guys, thank you so much for supporting Akshata's recipes by watching my videos. It means the world to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I need those views, I need those likes, I need those comments, and I definitely need more subscribers to stay on YouTube. So, having said all of that, thank you so much and take care of yourself. Stay healthy, stay fit, be loving and kind to one another, and I'll catch you soon in my next video, sooner than you think. This is Akshata signing off. Bye.